In this video, I'm going to solve some trigonometric equations using the TI-89. There's three trig equations. We're going to solve them in the interval from 0 degrees to 360. Sometimes they'll ask you to solve them in the interval from 0 to 2 pi when they want the answer in radians. You can easily convert to radians once you have it in terms of degrees. We did it. I did these same three problems using the TI-84. So just to compare the two methods, I'm going to do the same ones on the TI-89, okay? Those are the solutions we got using the graphing method on the TI-84. That method worked pretty good when you had exact solutions like 1 and 2. When you have some that are not exact, you have to use the zero function of the calculator. So let's look at the graphing calculator. So we're going to want the answer in degrees, so let's go to mode. So this one is set to degrees. And then I have this one set to auto. Let the calculator decide if it can give it to you an exact answer. It will. Otherwise, it'll give you its form. You can have an auto exact, or if you want an approximation, you can have it an approximation. 1 and 2 pretty much give you the same answer. So I used to have it in auto. Okay, so let's go to the first equation. So here I go to F2. And I want to remind you that trig equations will have either no solution, one solution, or an infinite number of solutions. So if you can find one solution, then add in a multiple of 360 or a multiple of 2 pi, depending on whether you're working with degrees or radians, will give you an infinite solution. So if you have one solution, you have an infinite number. So generally, the basic solution set is given in the interval from 0 to 360. So that's usually what we do. If we want an infinite number, we can get those also, like I said, by adding a multiple of either 360 or 2 pi, depending on what you're working with. Here we're dealing with degrees. So I hit 1 here. And then I enter the equation. So I'm going to use then second sign. It has theta. I'm just going to use x, more convenient for me here. Equals to 1/2 or 0.5, same thing. And then I have to tell the calculator the variable you're working with, so a comma and then an x, parentheses. And then we have to indicate the interval we want, which is from 0 to 360. So the way we do this is down here next to the 7 to the left is the bar. Put this bar. And then I want x between 0 and 360 degrees. So we can do it this way. I hit 0, and then I want less than or equal to x, or x greater than or equal to 0. And again, this is in degrees. So I go to second and 5. I'm accessing this math menu there. And then what I want is on category 8. So I hit 8. And then less than or equal to is number 4. And then I want the x. And then I could say less than or equal to or less than 360 here, but that's not going to work in this case. So the calculator wants the word and here. So again, I go back to the math menu, second, 5. Again, I want 8. I want the word and, so I hit 8 again. And then I want x to be less than 360. So I go back, and 5. Strictly less than, that's number 2. 360. And I hit enter. So this one has an exact solution of 150 degrees and 30 degrees, which is, of course, what we have here. Okay. And basically, you just repeat the same steps for the next. Okay, we'll go ahead and do it. Clear this, clear this. So I get then F2, 1 is solve, And then I just enter this equation. So it's 2 second excess cosine of x, close parentheses, and then excess the sine, second sine of x, close parentheses, minus cosine, second cosine of x, and that's equal to 0. Okay, indicate the variable, again, same steps, comma, x, close parentheses, and then the bar. And we read this bar as such that, so we want to solve this equation such that x is in the interval from 0 to 360. So I want 0 here, and then I want less than x, or x greater than 0. Again, go to the math menu, 5, 8, and I want less than or equal. So that's number 4. Then x, so 0 less than or equal to x, or read it the other way, x greater than or equal to 0. Again, now I want the word and, so second, 5, I want 8, then 8 again, there's and then I want x to be less than 360, so I enter the x, and go back, second, 5, 8, and number 2 is strictly less than, so 2 less than 360, hit enter. Okay. So there you have it, 270, x can be 270 degrees, 150 degrees, and then go to the right here, 90 degrees, or x can be 30 degrees. So we have all these answers here. 4 solutions in this particular interval. So in this case, if we wanted a complete solution, or the infinite solution, then we would just add a multiple of 360 to each of these. So we would say 30 degrees plus k 360, 90 degrees plus k times 360, 150 plus k times 360, 270 plus k times 360, where k represents any integer. Okay? So this, clear this. Okay, and we go to the last one. Now notice in this case we have 19.5 degrees, 160.5 degrees, so one exact solution of 90. So the last two here were rounded off. So this one didn't have exact solutions. So when we did it on the 84 using the graphing method, we had to use the zero function in the menu to get these answers, and then rounded it off. Okay, on the calculator here on the 89, we work it the same way though. F2 and then 1. Okay, then we enter the equation. So this will be 3, and then this is going to be sine squared. So the best way to do it here is to put parentheses and then second sine of x, close parentheses, and then another parentheses, and that's going to be squared, minus 4 sine of x equals to -1. And then indicate the variable, so go comma x, close parentheses, again same steps, bar, once 0 less than x, so it'll be second, back to the math menu, 8 less than or equal to, that'd be number 4, x. Okay, so 0 less than or equal to x, or x greater than or equal to 0. Now the word and, second, 5, 8, and then 8 again to get the word and. There it is. And then we want x to be less than, so there'd be second. Again, back to the math menu. Strictly less than is number 2. 360. Hit enter. Okay, so if we look at the answer the calculator gives you, this one, it couldn't come up with an exact answer. Like, say, for example, the square root of 3 over 2. Okay, if that was the answer, that's what it would give you. Okay, so it gives you this. X can be all of this right here. Okay, now if you actually compute this out, you actually compute all of this right here and round off to 1 decimal place, you'll get the 160.5. Okay, I could go over the other answer. It gives it to you in exact format using the calculator interpretation. So x is equal to sine inverse of 130. So if you use your sine inverse function on your calculator, enter the 130, hit enter, you'll get this other answer. If you run out to one place, 19.5. And then the third answer, of course, is the 90 degrees. That one comes out exact, so it gives it to you. Now, if you had your calculator set to approximate, it would give you the this answer here. Okay, but we can easily fix that by just doing this. Just go ahead and clear. Okay, so let's leave it there, and then over here, have this little diamond here. Hit that, and then we're going to hit enter, and then notice the equals here, little wiggly here, that means approximation. So go second over diamond and enter. And there it gives it to you. Okay, x is 160.5 degrees, rounding off, you get this answer. And then 90 degrees right there, of course you have it right there. And if I go to the right, you get 90 degrees, and then you get the 19.47. So rounding that out to one place is 19.5 degrees. So there you have all of them. Okay. I give you the 90 degrees twice there, but just ignore that. There's only just one. Okay. So that concludes the video. I hope this was informative, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.